Good day and welcome to Canadian Freedom, right? Today's day 3 of the election, and I just had to make a video because earlier I noticed something trending on X. It says CSIS says there was interference in the Conservative leadership candidate Pierre. This was something that obviously the Liberal Party wanted to release. One thing, it seems kind of like using the Canadian spy agency for election interference is kind of slimy, for one. But Pierre Poilievre was at, I'm not sure exactly where he was, but he was doing a live election event today, and he got asked about it, and it was a mic drop, a boom moment. Let's take a look.
Hi Pierre, I'm Surya from Y Media.
Yes, sir.
So, Globe and Mail has done a story on election interference on Conservative leadership campaign. What are your comments on that?
Well, first of all, let's quote from that Globe and Mail article. I'm going to quote here. CSIS also did not have evidence that Mr. Poilievre or members of his inner circle were aware of these alleged actions. Then I'm going to quote the Hogue Commission, and I quote, "The Commission heard testimony about allegations of the government India interference in the Conservative Party leadership race. CSIS witnesses noted that they had no reason to believe the impacted candidates would have been aware of the alleged support." Let's be honest. I won the leadership fair and square. Even my political competitors, like Mr. Patrick Brown, have publicly testified under oath that that was the case.
Here comes the mic drop part.
But I'm glad that the Liberals put this attack out today. Really glad. Because there's something that's really been worrying me. After Justin Trudeau named Mark Carney his economic advisor, giving him massive power over public policy in Canada, Mr. Carney went over for meetings in Beijing where he just had secret talks with the deputy governor of the Chinese central bank. 2 weeks later, Brookfield got a $250 million loan. What did they talk about? What did Mr. Carney in his role as Trudeau's economic advisor offer China? Why would he be having secret meetings with top government-controlled bankers about getting a $250 million loan while he was supposed to be acting in Canada's interest as the Prime Minister's economic advisor? Why would he be collaborating with a hostile foreign regime that we have since learned executed 4 Canadians and took numerous Canadians hostage for a lengthy period of time? And given that Mr. Carney knows that he still owns massive financial interests in Brookfield, which owes a $250 million to a Chinese state-controlled bank, how do we know he's not going to act against our interests in favor of his financial interests? Why didn't he stand in front of this microphone and confess to Canadians that he owes the Chinese government that kind of money? Is this why he's covering up his financial interests? And given that China has murdered our people, taken our people hostage, how is he ever going to stand up to foreign interference when he is so financially compromised? We have never in our history had a weak, out-of-touch leader so terribly compromised and conflicted, whose interests go against our national interests. And I call on Mr. Carney right now to come before a microphone today and explain if this loan is still in place and if he still has those Brookfield assets that he had up until a few weeks ago. Because we cannot trust someone. Could you imagine, while you're supposed to be advising Canada's Prime Minister on the well-being of our economy, going to a foreign regime that had executed Canadian citizens, taken Canadians hostage, that it had already been public that they had interfered in multiple elections? They've done incursions into our northern waters. Mark Carney will never be able to protect our national interests because he has massive financial conflicts of interest overseas. What we need now is not to give the Liberals a fourth term with a weak and compromised leader. What we need is a Prime Minister who will put Canada first for a change.
Mic drop. Yes, Pierre. Boom. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Liberals during an election would use the Canadian spy agency old report saying that Pierre got help from India, if that's what they're trying to insinuate. He won that leadership candidacy easy. I mean, Patrick Brown was running. He's the mayor of Brampton, which is basically Canada's Little India. He would be the only one that they would probably want to help out. Like, give me a break. And you got all these CBC pundits on X. I forget her name. She's the French old kind of witch-looking one. She texts the story from the Globe and Mail. Oh, when it rains, it pours. Like, give me a break. Shame on you, CBC. Shame on you, Globe and Mail. And shame on you, Liberal Party, for using the spy agency during an election for this old story trying to sway people. It's Mark Carney has ties to Central Bank and CCP, the Communist Party in China. They are not our friends. They are not our friends. Look what they recently executed 4 Canadians. You know, they held hostage a couple Canadians because we arrested that Huawei CEO for her shady business on an American warrant. Because, she's in Canada where laws basically don't matter. So she thought she could get away hiding in Canada. But I digress. That's another story. It's unbelievable, the conflicts of interest that, Marxist Carney has. And we should be able to see all of it. All of it. I want to see all of it. I wouldn't even consider. If he were to show us every conflict, sell off his conflict assets, maybe then I'd seriously look at him and listen to what he has to say. Right now, no way. No way. I don't know. Tell me what you think. And please like, share, subscribe, get the message out. What do you think of Pierre's response to this ridiculous story from the Globe and Mail the Liberals are trying to use? Let me know below. And day 3, day 4, this early in the election, we're already got here. What's next? Have a good one. Join me next time. Canadian Freedom Right.